I spent the season with, Deshaun Watson, and, I feel like, being with Patrick last season, both of those guys are pretty similar into what they bring to their team. Obviously both of them are the franchise guys, and both of them are highly competitive. They come in the building with the right spirit, the right attitude. They work the right way. And obviously they have the talent to lead a football club. And I think anytime you have two guys like that in that position, in the same conference, it's going to be special, especially once you talk about getting into playoff football and championship football. I wouldn't mind playing against Deshaun Watson in big games. I feel like he's one of those players that brings it out of you. He makes you prepare the right way, and I'm sure Patrick does that as well.
Tyrann Mathieu, who has played both with Deshaun Watson and with Patrick Mahomes, currently a teammate of Patrick Mahomes. We're looking for that next Tom Brady-Peyton Manning rivalry. The key ingredient, though, is both teams have to be able to dominate their division, so they're more likely to cross paths in the postseason. I don't know if the Texans can dominate the South. Have a feeling the Chiefs are going to be dominating the West for years to come. But that leads to fill in the blanks this morning, Peter, and let's start with the first one. The best current rivalry in the NFL is what?
Seattle, San Francisco. And I think I would have said even 2 years ago, Pittsburgh, Baltimore. I still love Pittsburgh, Baltimore. And I think that's going to be very good this year. But that Monday night game last year, the Chase McLaughlin, Jadeveon Clowney, Russell Wilson, everybody had a moment in that game. That game last year, I think, cemented Seattle, San Francisco as the best in the game today.
And then it came down to the last game of the regular season, the Sunday night game in Seattle. The 49ers desperately needed to win the division. They'd have been the 5 seed. Good luck getting to the Super Bowl when you got to go on the road in the wild card round to get the postseason started. Yeah, I agree with you. That's the best one. Beyond that, Chiefs-Chargers got interesting in 2018 when it looked like maybe the Chargers were going to win the division, but then they tailed off in 2019, and now who knows what direction the Chargers are going to go in. I really want to see someone rise up, though, and give the Chiefs everything they can handle. Maybe the Broncos are moving in that direction. But beyond 49ers, Seahawks, there really isn't one that currently jumps off the page. Saints, Buccaneers could be interesting this year, though, with quarterbacks who have a combined age of, as of Monday, 84 years old. All right, Teron Armstead, speaking of the Saints, declares it to be a Super Bowl or bust season in New Orleans. That declaration is what, Peter?
Absolutely unequivocally true. Because next year on opening day, when you line up with Taysom Hill at quarterback, you have no idea what your team is going to be. One of the things that when I was talking to John Schneider after we recorded my podcast this week, one of the things that we talked about essentially is that as long as you have Russell Wilson, you're never picking players the caliber of Jamal Adams, 6th pick in the 2017 draft. And to me, the New Orleans Saints, after this season, when Drew Brees heads to Mike Florio's dressing room at NBC Sports, I think one of the things you're going to see is a new era in Saints football. So you don't know what that holds.
Yeah, I think at that point it will be Drew Brees' dressing room, and I'll be getting dressed in the hallway.
Hallway?
Regardless.
Yeah.
That's all that's all reported, that's all speculated, that has been confirmed by no one, just so we are clear on that. I think it's
other than
I
me.
think it's yeah, I think it's ridiculous for him to say that because of the pandemic. No one can go into this season with that attitude because your season can get derailed by this microscopic invisible thing that puts half of your team on ice for multiple weeks and screws up everything. So I just don't think that any team can go into this season with that mentality. In a normal year, I'd agree. This year, put Super Bowl or bust on the shelf, Peter.
I disagree because your attitude, events can change the course of history, obviously. But just because you have that attitude, I think everybody on that team and that organization should have that attitude because of the unknown next year.
They're going for kind of the mini version of the Bills' 4 straight Super Bowl losses with 4 straight excruciating postseason exits. They're up to 3. We'll see if it runs to 4 this year. All right, one more real quickly. LeSean McCoy will be what for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this year? He signed with the team yesterday.
You know, an insurance policy. I mean, Mike, it's been 7 years since he's been an All-Pro. I mean, he's 32 years old. And again, and Frank Gore's a lot older than he is. But my point about older backs is that, you know, don't go guaranteeing anything. Whatever they give you is a bonus. There's a reason why LeSean McCoy wasn't signed until July 29th, you know. And the reason is because out there's not a lot of trust that he can be a 220 carry guy. And we'll see what happens. Maybe he can be. But as of now, to me, he's an insurance policy.
I say non-factor, all due respect. I look at it this way. Damian Williams opted out for the Chiefs this week. And if the Chiefs did not make a beeline for LeSean McCoy to have him as the alternative to Clyde Edwards-Helaire, that tells you everything you need to know about what Andy Reid, the guy who drafted LeSean McCoy, thinks that McCoy has left in the tank right now. And the answer, truth be told, if Reid were attached to a lie detector test, would be nothing. So I think he's going to be a non-factor for the Buccaneers.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.